everyone. Today is our first snowfall. It's nice and snowy, a little bit cloudy, but I thought it'd be fun to do a little get ready with me because someone had actually suggested that I do a get ready with me makeup look using all of the makeup products that I shared in my last video in my capsule makeup collection. So if you want to go see that video and my decluttering video, then just check out my two most recent videos, and you can then switch to this if you want to see a more detailed look of my makeup capsule collection. Without any further ado, we'll get into it. So yeah, just sit back, have a cup of coffee or tea, and enjoy. So I have you nice and seamed in. As always, I'm just going to hand sanitize with my PAUME. Some moisturizing gel hand sanitizer. I can't remember if I actually included that in my capsule makeup collection video, but definitely it is part of my everyday makeup routine is to clean my hands prior to touching my face. I also did a kind of refining acid mask today. I actually used the new 𝒸𝓾𝓃 mask that they have. I've been waiting for her to come out with a mask, and felt really nice. Did it right after the shower. So then I'm just going to apply my OG face oil just to hydrate my skin. I find that the facial oil helps to create like a bit of a smooth and slick base for the foundation just to seamlessly apply on afterwards. I also prepped my lips with the Hurraw Moon lip balm, just for any lip products that we'll be applying later. I want my skin and my lips to be super hydrated and prepped so that there's no seeping of the product into the fine lines. Now, over the Black Friday sale, I did purchase some new products. Particularly, I actually purchased some new makeup brushes to just kind of get some higher quality brushes. I purchased from Refer, I think is how you pronounce it. They were having a 50% off sale, so I've heard many great things about the brushes, so I purchased 3 of just like their larger face powder brushes. So that was exciting. And then the other thing I got in the mail was this is the infamous Westman Atelier blender brush. Look how gorgeous. I love the all black with the white bristles. I think it just looks super sleek and beautiful. And let me tell you, these bristles are so incredibly soft. I am obsessed. So Glow Screen is my current luminous sunscreen that I use. In my last video, a lot of you gave some great recommendations for me to look at as a replacement for this one, so I'm super excited to look into all of those. There's definitely a few repeated ones that were recommended, so I'm going to take a look at all of those options online and maybe try a few out. It's really hard as a beauty content creator to not buy into overconsumption, because I find that I'm really wanting to buy to review for you all. For example, I want all of the Westman Atelier blushes to do a full swatch comparison and a complete application, and that's what I did with the super loaded tinted highlights, but there's only 3 of them, so it was a lot easier to justify 3 different, super different as well in terms of shade range, super loaded tinted highlights, where some of the blushes do fall in a similar category, similar sheen. So we'll see. I really do want to do a video like that because Westman Atelier is one of my favorite brands, and I know a lot of you love to see my Westman Atelier reviews, and you also love that, so I'm considering including that, so we'll see. I've also started to think about, as we switch into the new year, to do a lot more French-inspired, Parisian-inspired videos, whether that's makeup, beauty, etc. Those have done quite well on my channel in the past, and it's something that I really love. I love simple, classic, timeless style, and to translate that with hair and makeup and skincare. So definitely might consider doing that. I also might consider doing more makeup tutorials or skincare videos, fun little Parisian inspired in French as well. So I've done one on my channel with the translations and stuff. I was a little bit more rough then because I hadn't really practiced my French in a while. But if you're interested in me actually starting to film more French videos, then I would love to have your input on that. So typically on a day-to-day, I usually will just go in with concealer, which is my 𝒸𝓃. This is the Arnica concealer in Honey, which I have hit pan on. However, because I do want to do a little bit more of a fuller coverage, I am going to use my Westman Atelier. This is the Vital Skin Foundation stick in the shade Atelier 1. I have both Atelier 1 and Atelier 2. I feel like the number 1 shade is definitely more of my winter shade, and the number 2 is a little bit better and more suitable for when I have that bit of tan, whether that's from self-tanner or from the sun naturally. So I'm just going to apply it directly onto my skin. I'm struggling with a bit of redness around my mouth and my jaw. But I think this is really the only foundation I've held on to out of like all the foundations that I've collected over the years. It's absolute favorite. Now for blending that in, I go in with either my Westman Atelier foundation brush, which I just like to use to distribute the product across my face, zoom in so you can see a little bit better. And then I'll use a damp beauty blender just to make sure that all the product is seamlessly like melted into my skin so it doesn't leave a streaky application. But I do find that this brush is somehow like miraculously does not accentuate the lines of the bristles when I'm using this brush, and I do really like it. I never thought that I would like a flat foundation brush, but I do find it's very like it's a timeless tool that's been used for forever in makeup artist kits, and it truly is great. I like getting right under and over my eyelid. Alright, so that's it for the foundation. Sometimes if I find that there's like a little bit of extra redness or a blemish that needs a little bit more coverage, I'll go either back in with the Westman Atelier foundation stick and just kind of spot conceal, or I'll use my 𝒸𝓃 concealer. The other product that is kind of the essential in my base is my Westman Atelier contour stick in the shade Biscuit. There's now 2 shades. Biscuit is the perfect kind of neutral cool shade. I love the formulation of this. It blends in super seamlessly, and I just kind of go right under my cheekbone to help kind of sculpt my cheeks. I go under my jaw. I do a tiny bit on the sides of my nose. I just find it adds a little bit of color along the perimeter of my face, and I like to do a little bit on my eyelids actually. I'm going to take this very dirty brush that needs to be clean, and it is the Merit Beauty face brush or blender brush. It kind of is similar to the Westman Atelier blender brush, with the exception that the bristles are a little bit more dense and has more of an angle to it. And this brush too does a really good job of seamlessly just blending in product. It's super soft. And I think if you are looking at the Westman Atelier brush and it's just a little bit too much out of your price range, I think this is a really good alternative. While there are some slight differences, like I previously mentioned, I do think it is a good budget-friendly option for you to choose. It took me a long time despite being a big Westman Atelier fan, to splurge on the blender brush. So I understand everyone's hesitations. Now I haven't put the brush to use yet. We're going to do it for the first time today. So we will see whether it's truly worth the hype and the price point. Depending on how much time I have, I'll sometimes go in with my blender sponge just to kind of perfect the application with the brush. I find, again, it's just kind of like smooths everything out, but not a necessary step. In my last video, I have a assortment of 3 different blushes in this like winter capsule collection. I have the Merit Beauty Raspberry Beret, and I also have 2 Westman Atelier blushes in the shade Petal and Mimi. And today I'm going to go in with the shade Mimi, which is very much a kind of neutral tone, kind of like pinky mauve. It's interesting because it translates a little bit different on your skin than it does in the stick. But it kind of has more of that like nudie brown kind of undertone to it with like a slight pinky hue. And I'm just going to use my beauty blender to distribute that. And I'm going to do a touch on my nose, just across the bridge, because I do find that it gives such a beautiful, healthy glow. It gives you that sun-touched, sun-kissed glow in the summertime, and in the wintertime it gives you that like just out of the snow, rosy cheek, après-ski kind of appearance. So I love it. It's one of my favorite techniques to use, and I feel like it does look super healthy, juicy, plump, and youthful. I'm going in with the Super Loaded Tinted Highlight, which I actually popped in here. This is in the shade Peau de Pêche, which of course is my most dearest favorite product in my collection, and a product I definitely recommend to all people trying out Westman Atelier and looking for a splurge item, or looking at introducing Westman Atelier into their collection for the first time. It's this gorgeous pearlized, I don't even know if I really call this a peach, but it is such a beautiful sheen, and I have a full video on this as well, on all the Super Loaded Tinted Highlights. I'm going to be using the blender brush, and I am almost struggling to use this brush because I love the look of a fresh brush, and it kind of breaks my heart when I have to use it for the first time and make it dirty, because like if I could keep all my brushes just like fresh like this and just stare at them, that would make me happy. But clearly we purchased to use, so the point of this is that it's meant to just fit beautifully into that package and basically pick up the perfect amount of the Super Loaded Tinted Highlight. So just a couple of swirls. It's not picking up a lot of products, so let's just see. And then Gucci Westman, the makeup artist and founder of the brand, just does a nice soft sweep across the cheekbone. And I know I've applied the product because it's added a kind of second layer of rosiness, but also that bit of sheen. I think it actually did a really good job of applying the perfect amount. Nothing too much, and it feels absolutely luxurious and incredibly soft across my cheek. I've actually never felt a brush this soft on my cheek. Oh. Gorgeous. I really, really like that. Not only the product, but the brush. I can definitely see how this is like an iconic duo. And if you are on the fence about this, it does feel very luxurious, and it does a great job to pair with the Super Loaded Tinted Highlights if you already have some of those in your collection. It's also a perfect time to maybe ask for them for Christmas if you want the duo to try. It's such a staple product my all year round favorite, après ski, post sun, après soleil, whatever, it looks gorgeous. I love it. I have most of the complexion done. Depending on how fair I am, sometimes I won't even go with any actual bronzer. So the bronzer that I do have in this collection is the Well People Bio-Based Baked Bronzer. I have to be really careful with this bronzer in the wintertime, especially when I don't have a tan at all, due to the nature of its pigment. I don't want to look a little too dark. So I'm going to take a really fluffy brush and just kind of sweep it across the perimeter of my forehead. A little dust on my nose. And I like bringing it down my neck just to kind of evenly distribute that tan color across my body so that there's not like a stark difference between my face and my neck. I'm going to go in with the Chantecaille. This is the Mermaid Eye Matte in the shade Sylvie, just to run as a base on my eyelid. And I'm just using this Morphe M441 brush. I'm going to just deepen out my eye with the Westman Atelier eye pot in the shade Chocolat, which is part of the Les Jours collection. And I know that Westman Atelier, you just launched their single eye pods, but unfortunately it's only in the shade Tobacco and Champagne. So I really hope that they release more colors, because I think some people want to add certain colors from different collections into their capsule collection. I'm just using the eyeshadow one brush from Westman Atelier just to kind of apply that mostly just to the eyelid, just under the crease, and I focus it mostly on my lash line just to give me like a soft, smoky look. And just a little sweep under the lower lash line, just to match that smokiness. I just spray it with a bit of water just to dampen it. I use an eyebrow spoolie to pick up the soap, and then I just brush my brow hairs up and out. Just like that. And then to fill in the gaps, because when I brush them out I do have some sparse areas, I just take my Plume brow pomade in the shade Ashy Daybreak. And I just kind of place that very lightly in those areas. Okay. Rocking a little bit of a fuller brow today, but that's alright. To complete the eyes, I'm going to go in with a lash curler, doing a nice curl. I find this makes my eyes look so awake. It makes all of the difference in the appearance of your lashes once you do it. Highly recommend. My 𝒸𝓼 Limitless Lash Mascara. does a great job at lengthening, separating, evenly distributing the product on my eyelashes. For lips, I'm using the Rouge Paris Le Stylo in Alix, which is like a really beautiful kind of your lips but better. Gives it a bit more of that pinched lip color. And then I just blend it out with my finger. Kind of has like a matte finish, but it doesn't feel drying at all. But definitely recommend that lip prep beforehand. And if I'm going to go in with a bit of gloss, we're doing the Lawless Forget the Filler lip gloss to add some sheen and plumpness. That's it. That's my super easy, minimal, everyday makeup that I use with my Capsule makeup collection. I can always switch up some of the blush colors, maybe add a wing, change the lip color to really change up the look, but I always find the base stays the same. So hope you enjoyed today's video. If you have any questions or other recommendations, please comment them down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, loves.